Hello everyone, Ice McFall here, and welcome to another episode of Raspberry Flavored, where we are currently at my wither skeleton farm. So how this works, as you guys might know from a previous episode, is I actually stand like right over there, and I attract the wither skeletons over for them to fall down. However, I was messing around off camera trying to figure out like a more automated solution. So I put in an iron golem thinking, oh, they'll like walk over to the iron golem, and well, it works pretty well. The only problem is the wither skeletons sometimes spawn with bows, and they actually end up attacking the iron golem like that. And I can't really have that, so I'm just gonna have to kill the iron golem. I'm sorry, but this isn't gonna work. So the new idea is to use the create fans. They do cost a little bit of steel, but I mean, I'm pretty good on iron now. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and craft some fans and I'll see you guys when I get those. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just place panels down all over the ground so that more wither skeletons won't be able to spawn. So what I want to do is I've already made it so they can't spawn in like any of these blocks. Oh, you guys can spawn on panels? We'll just make all of this 2 blocks high for now. So we're gonna put a fan. We're gonna put it here. And then that one's going to push any wither skeletons that come over here. It's going to push it over here. And then I'm going to also want... What in the world? Where did it spawn one? I'm going to have a fan also right here. And then these right here. And I think I'm going to actually place blocks here. So the only place that the wither skeletons will spawn is right here. They'll get pushed over. And then we'll have a fan here that blows them all the way in there. Where the heck are these guys spawning in? Unless it just plays the effect, the spawn effect, but they're not actually spawning in. I'm going to go ahead and make some lava water wheels. I actually brought 4 bucks of lava, which should be more than I need. But you know, gotta be safe. We're going to play it safe. Oh, and you're spawning there. Yeah, get out of here. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and work on these lava water wheels now. Alright, here we are. We're gonna do the generic... I'm surprised that lava isn't flowing. We're gonna do the generic gear ratioing method here. Big cog to small cog. And then it should be powering the fan. Okay, we're actually using it at the max stress units for a water wheel. It's not super fast, but it's also not like super slow, so I'll take it. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and set this up for the other 2 fans, I guess. Alright, so I finished this up. I've actually used a large water wheel. And then she's a bunch of gear ratioing. Of course it looks ugly, but it doesn't need to look pretty. Everything should be in place now. I'll actually just place a panel here so I can just walk in. Oh, one of these actually needs to be flipped now that I think about it. Well, now that I see. So the one on the right is going to need to be flipped. And that's fine because all I need to do here, I just place a gearbox here. Then it should rotate the other way and... should be working now. I'm gonna go ahead and place these blocks here just to be sure no wither skeletons go over here. But yeah, as you can see, these fans aren't too slow. All I need to do now is break these blocks up here. And after I've broken those blocks, wither skeletons will spawn in and they should all just get dropped in. I've made myself a nice little area right here. Alright, so I've heard some drop or spawn in, and as you can see, they are dropping. Anyway, right here is actually a safe spot to go ahead, and if we don't get shot to death by the wither skeletons, we can actually use our necromium claymore here. And as you can see, I've actually placed hoppers off camera, and now we can have hoppers that just drop all of their items. So we can go ahead and just open the chest and grab the wither skulls out. Alright, so I have solved the wither skeleton farm. I can actually AFK here if I want. I just have to hold right click on my necromium claymore. Because this thing, of course it loses durability whenever I attack. But it only loses durability when it actually hits a mob. So if I want to, I can actually just sit here and AFK. Just put something on right click on my mouse. And this is a fully AFK farm. For wither skulls, and I actually get steel nuggets from this as well, so you know it has more uses than just the wither skulls. I am definitely gonna go ahead and use this farm to AFK later on, but not right now. Right now I'm gonna get out of here. I spent enough time working on this. So let's go ahead and get back home and work on something else, you know. Alright, so I'm in my ore factory and I am just finishing up with the copper farm. I'm actually adding on a new farm here. So of course in the last episode we put in the iron farm and the zinc farm. Those things I had already made, but I hadn't put into this building yet. And then we also made the gold farm. And, you know, that's doing absolutely amazing so far. What is that, like 4 stacks of items in there so far? And then here's the copper farm now. And someone did point out to me in the comments of the last episode that you can actually lock these drawers. So, yeah, I thought you could. I just didn't know how. Well, apparently you shift right click the drawer when there's an item in it and it locks like that. I don't know how I didn't figure that out, but I didn't. Apparently you can do it without an item in there. Wow, I don't know how I didn't see that before. So all I need to do now is just put in the drill the correct way and it'll be good. There we go. And now we should be producing copper. And I'll just put one in each of these so I can lock it and be good. There we go. So yeah, now we should be automating copper as well. So I just want to mention the fact that I am not really happy with this factory building at all. Like, oh my gosh, it's so like flat. I don't know. Like, I don't really like it. It's really boring. I was already planning on adding some like deep slate texture in here because we got the cobble deep slate, and I was also gonna put in some normal deep slate. I've yet to actually do that, but I wanted to do that. It's one small thing, but like as a whole, I feel like there's a lot more that needs to be done. So I'm just gonna spend a little bit of time just trying to figure out what I could do to make this look a little bit better, and then maybe we can also get like a roof in. Alright, so I've actually gone into my creative world and I've redesigned the building. I'm thinking I'm going to do a create schematic cannon to actually build in the new building so we can do a cool little time lapse again, kind of like what we did with the old factory over there. Wow, we have completed tearing down the whole entire factory building. I don't know if I'm going to have enough space for this whole building because I'm wanting to move it a little bit out in this direction. I think for now I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this and we're just going to extend out the land over there. All right, so I have gone ahead and I have done a lot of terraforming, as you can see. It doesn't look great from over here. As you can see, it's just one layer, but I am going to end up doing the terraforming later on, and I'm going to make sure it all looks, you know, decent, kind of like how we have looking decent over here, except this side it's going to be a hill going down. On this side I'm probably going to continue doing the wall around. We'll see. I'm not too sure yet. Probably have the dirt come out a little bit and it'll be like a little bit of a circle then connecting back to that wall or whatever. You know, we're going to see. But for now, I just want to go ahead and get started on actually rebuilding this factory. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the schematic table and everything. Hopefully I have that all together in my tower or whatever. And yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, it is looking like my material checklist is actually done. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the time lapse, I guess. And it is looking like we're finally done. Yeah, I think this building looks so much better than the old one. This was the screenshot I took for the thumbnail of last episode. This is what the ore factory looked like. And then this is what it looks like now. So, you know, it's not amazing, but all I really care about is that it looks better. That's the main thing. For the door, I'm just gonna have to mine that out for now because I've yet to put in a cool create door, cool create sliding door like I've done for the other factory. But this is the inside here. It's very open right now. As you can see, I have glass here. This is gonna be 2 floors while the other build was actually intended to be 3 floors. But I decided I only really need this amount of space, and I only really want to do ore related stuff in this building because I don't want to put too much create stuff here. Otherwise my computer is going to lag like crazy. All of this isn't put in yet. I'm still going to be working on getting this elevator done, but some of it is together. Like we have some of these elevator pulleys and stuff. And then up here we have our glass here so you can look down and see the ore farms. So yeah, nothing's really going to be up here other than just being able to observe. And then we also have the balcony here, which I think is pretty nice. Some cool stuff. I have, some actual detailing going on, and I have a mix of cobbled deep slate and deep slate, like actual deep slate, and then I have these gravel bricks, which I realized look really nice. And the gravel bricks actually take more of a role in the build, I guess, near the top. So it's like a little bit of a gradient, but not really much. And the sides of the building also look okay. At least I'm saying, like, when you look at the side, it's okay. I don't like that with the roof. I couldn't really get it to look very nice for the side pieces here. I definitely could have done better with these side pieces because they're kind of off a little bit. That's like one of my least favorite parts about the building. But other than that, it's looking great. And, I mentioned it in the last episode. I didn't like how the ore factory was kind of blocking the view of the old factory. And it's no longer doing that. And I am still going to be doing a sort of deep slate building over here as well. Maybe next episode, I'm not too sure, because I do want two buildings to be facing each other right here in front of the factory. I just think it would make sense. We're going to get something in front of here as well, but yeah, that's all I have time for this episode, though. I have spent a lot of time on this episode. It might not be the longest, but I mean, this thing took forever. Oh my goodness. I've spent maybe like 10 hours working on this episode, so I'm going to be trying to upload weekly again. I know I say that a lot, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, of course. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.